The following podcast contains coarse language and adult themes. This week on the show, 5 daughters? 5? Was there nothing else to do in the 70s but hump one another, Ron Livingston? Fuck! Anyway, we're getting our spooky season started with a bang in an empty room and a disembodied clap. It's James Wan's The Conjuring from 2013?
13.
Is it 2013? I'm just double checking. I wrote it down as that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's 2013, everyone. I'm leaving that in. I'm Riggs.
And I'm Bathsheba somehow.
Bathsheba?
Did you not watch the movie?
I don't remember that part of it.
Okay.
Okay. And this is the longest intro ever. Hey friends, and welcome back to the Film Addicts podcast. We're so happy to have you here. If you can hear some scratching in the background, it's my cat Paul, who does not like The Conjuring. I'm here with my beautiful friend, my possessed buddy. We've got him strapped to a chair, and it's not sexual at all. What's happening, Eddie?
Oh, I wish it was sexual, but it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
There's nothing wrong with that. Fucking absolutely. Get right into it. First thing in the morning. Or a nooner. I love a nooner.
Can you elaborate on what that is? Because I don't know.
A nooner is when you have sex during the day.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic.
That's a cool name.
And then you fucking get up and have a sandwich and go back to do whatever you're doing. It's great.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 minutes in, we're talking about sex during the day. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. Happy spooky season. It's wonderful. I do love Halloween so much. I'm going to spruik something a little bit later that you might want to join in on Halloween-wise. But yeah, we're talking about The Conjuring. James Wan picture. Represent James Wan, an Australian classic at this point. Creator of Saw and Insidious, and the director of 2 enjoyed but hastily forgotten Aquaman films. And I had a great time with this picture. I actually watched it for We Hate Movies. Were doing an episode on it. And I'd never seen it. I haven't seen any of them. And I watched it and I had a great time. And it was really good. And Clarky, my other little cat, he was scared. So he sat with me, which was really nice. So it was a good watching experience. When did you first see this?
I watched all of them in chronological order. I think I watched The Conjuring in 2014 or 2015 at a sleepover.
Perfect place to do it. So when you say you watched them in chronological order, do you mean chronological order in terms of how they were released?
Yep.
Or chronological order in terms of where they're set? Because I know they're sort of jumping around timeline-wise.
How they were released.
Yeah, right. And have you seen the most recent one?
I have. I have seen all of the Conjuring-verse movies, unfortunately.
And there's 4, is that right?
There's 4 main Conjuring films.
Let's break it down for the people. What is it? So 4 main Conjuring pictures.
Yeah, 4 main Conjuring films, 3 Annabelle films, and then we had 2 nun films, which is
and a partridge in a pear tree. 4 Conjuring films, 3 Annabelle fucks, 2 nuns. Sorry. Christmas is ways off.
And then there was one called La Llorona, which is not, it's loosely connected, but it's also not at all.
Hang on a minute, what?
Yeah. The Curse of La Llorona.
And is that based again on one of the, you can get so in the weeds with these films. Is that based on one of the hauntings that you see in one of these other pictures, or one that's alluded to, or nothing? It's just...
No, it's part of the universe somehow.
Okay. It's like a hack. It's like a hack in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I was talking to JP, Johnny, our fantastic composer. Also, shouts outs to Johnny and Rach, his wife. She's been struggling with her health lately, and she's on the mend. She's got a little ways to go, but they are some brave motherfuckers, and we love you. And we send you all our goodwill, and please, internet folk out there, just put some positive energy in the world for Johnny and Rach, because they're wonderful people and they deserve it. Johnny got in touch with me after he saw that I was watching it. I don't know how we got onto the topic. Oh no, we were talking about it on the last episode, and he chimed in and he was like, "It's the most successful franchise outside of the MCU in terms of box office receipts." And the most recent one, The Devil Made Me Do It was the third one. This one's The Last Rites.
Yep.
The fourth one is the most successful horror movie at the box office of all time, is my understanding. Is that right?
Sort of, yes.
Well, fuck my hole. That's good on The Conjuring. Good on James Wan. And great to see that, Patrick Wilson and... is it Patrick Wilson?
Yep, it's Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga. She's great. Yeah, it's good to see that they're still getting work. Anyway, we've already started talking about it. Can I spruik something real quick before we get into the main of the show?
Yeah.
So, me and my pals at the Sequel Suck podcast are doing this thing for Halloween that I think they invented. I'm pretty sure. And so it's Gus and Cable and Sean, who is like me, sometimes guests on the show, but it's Gus and Cable's show. So the Sequel Suck podcast, and they've got this thing they do for Halloween where it's called the 31 in 31, and you've got to watch 31 Halloween-based movies in the month of Halloween, and you post about them, and you hashtag Halloween 31 in 31, and you can tag them as well. But here is the rules. Are you ready for the rules?
Yep.
All right. A maximum of 10 of the films that you watch can be rewatches. At least 5 should be of foreign language films.
Okay.
They must cover at least 5 decades.
Okay.
Like at least you have one in each of the 5 decades. So it could be the 2020s, the 2010s, the 2000s, the 90s, and the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I was going to watch Night of the Living Dead, which is the 60s. So no more than 2 films in the same series. So if you watch The Nun and The Conjuring, that's it. You're done for the Conjuring verse. So I can't watch any more Nuns. I mean, I can watch Nuns if I want to. I don't because they call the police.
Oh my God. I knew where this was going.
Just leering at nuns. No, they just came up. And they must be specifically horror movies. It can't be like, oh, that's just a scary film. How I feel that. It's got to be a horror picture, And the last criteria is you must have at least one film from each of these subgenres: vampires, ghosts, werewolves, witches, slasher, zombie, and comedy. So if you want to check that out, I'll post it on our Instagram, the Film Addicts Instagram. I'll post this cheat sheet, and join in, have a good time. It's a beautiful time to watch horror movies because sometimes the world can be overwhelming, and it's just fun to watch some stupid shit or some really good shit like The Conjuring. Anyway, shall we get into some what have we been watching, which won't be spooky stuff just yet?
Yeah, sure. I just want to say that that's a really cool sort of October thing. I think I can try my best to do it because it's only like one day now. So
yeah,
I can try.
Yeah, take a punt. Like I didn't know that we were doing it until last night, and I got home from work late, and I was like, "Fuck it, Hellboy." The newer one, the Crooked Man, which is legitimately a horror picture. And then the time ticked over and I watched Fright Night for today, the remake. But I'll talk about that in a second. What
are
we
watching?
I'm Ron Burgundy. What are we watching? You go first.
Man. Okay. I
have a new thing on my microphone, everybody. Can you tell the difference? It's got a condom on it now. That was your influence, Juan. Appreciate you. Yeah, he's just like, if you get a pop cover, it's going to sound better. And he's absolutely right. It probably will. I was just being lazy.
I was going to say Juan. Protecting dicks.
24/7. He's on his dumb shit at 24/7, just going, hey, don't put that pen in your pocket. You might You might tear your foreskin. Or alternatively, well, you might. If you don't have one, you might pop the plum, you know?
I don't know how somebody doesn't have one. That's new to me.
Yeah. Well, no, there's lots of people who don't have foreskins. Hang on a minute.
No,
okay,
it's just a tip, though.
It's just a tip, yeah. Like, if you got a foreskin, it's a snake wearing a sweater. If you don't have a foreskin, it's a snail wearing a helmet. It's really easy to remember.
No, oh God, okay, fuck this.
Juan, this is your fault. You tour Chicago, saving people from dick trauma in your truck. I know that's what you really do. All the other stuff that you talk about is a mask. You're out there saving dicks, and now we're onto it.
Well, I always thought that like a circumcision is just cutting off the tip of the foreskin.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so when you don't...
But it's still, you know what? Google it, and let's get on with this particular segment, because nobody wants us to sit here on a podcast that's about movies talking about what circumcision is or isn't.
Yes. Okay. True. Oh, boy.
Oh, it's going to be a silly show, everyone. Okay. What have you been watching? Tell me.
In my head, it's just...
Don't do like the chisel movement, like somebody's hammering into like stone, like an old time person making a fucking tombstone for a grave.
Right.
Tink, 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 tink. There you go. You're Jewish. Foreskin, the podcast. Welcome back to the Foreskin Addicts.
That's a real problem.
Dear. We're off the rate. It is. It's a real problem. We're off the rails. 13 minutes in. Fantastic. What the fuck have you been watching? Please help.
I only have one thing. I watched Caught Stealing last night. Yeah.
Excellent picture.
That was an experience. I so wish that I would have been able to watch it in a theater.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. But it's so good. Like it's like top 5 of like the last 10 years, man.
Yeah, it's really a good year for original pictures. And you're right, you messaged me, I know why you like it. And like, of course, there's a fucking cat heavily featured.
He's such a cute cat.
No, but it's really good though. Yeah, he's beautiful. And Austin Butler, like, fucking forget about it. He's just he is a Steve Sadak from We Hate Movies talked about it. He's a movie star, and he's got a really interesting career ahead of him. I can't wait.
Also, like, Caught Stealing is so electric, like it never leaves you. And you never feel like the runtime. Like I saw it was like an hour 40 or an hour like 45. But man, I wish it was longer because I enjoyed watching it so much.
And once it starts, it's fucking on and you don't stop. You know, it's just, yeah, it's really good. It's one of my films of the year so far.
Hell yeah, man. I think it might be mine as well.
Cool. That was it, was it?
Yeah, that was it.
In the vein of talking about horror movies and stuff, I watched the remake of Fright Night last night that they did in, I think it was 2011, with Colin Farrell playing Jerry, the vampire. And he's so cool. Like, he's so nuanced and weird. Like, it's such a particular performance. He's like these long stares and he's always like on and he's always sniffing because his senses are so crazy. Like, he's such a good fucking actor. And because he was so handsome and so, like, he hit the scene, it was just like, you know, done a few things in Ireland and then was on a TV show, and then bang, he's in Tigerland, and all of a sudden everyone wants him. And then he's in fucking Phone Book and Minority Report and SWAT and The Recruit, and he just huge amount of productions within the beginning of the 2000s. You know, Daredevil, he played Bullseye and all this stuff. And then he looks back on it even himself. He's like, I fucking was trash. I was a kid. Like, I was, 23 years of age. I was being given millions of dollars to do this stuff, and I lost my fucking mind. And then he got sober, and he came back as this amazing, nuanced, intelligent, articulate character actor. And then he does this remake vampire role, which could be completely throwaway, and he just completely owns it. Like, it's such a weird performance. I love it so much. It's also got Imogen Poots in it, who I love, and Anton Yelchin, who was a wonderful young actor and you know, had some fantastic roles and then tragically passed away at 27. I think I remember his car rolled and crushed him. Just a horrible circumstance. But yeah, really, he was amazing. He had so much charisma. So you watched that last night, really great. And the reason I watched it was because Imogen Poots was in it. And I've just watched the other night the Apple TV Plus original All of You, written by Brett Goldstein, who's Roy Kent from Ted Lasso. Absolutely broke me. Just stunning. It's my film of the year. It's the most electric, like you said before, is a great word, electric, dynamic, dramatic piece I've seen in a really long time. It's basically about in society, they've developed a scientific way to prove who your soulmate is. So you go and have the test done and they connect you with your soulmate. And it's about these two friends who have been friends for a really long time. And it spans years, like it's years. And there's this sort of unrequited love that goes on between them, even though she's been matched with her soulmate. This is no spoiler. It happens within the first few minutes. And it's just, Brett Goldstein is great. Like he's a great dramatic actor. He also wrote this with the director. But Imogen Poots it's Poots, isn't it? Imogen Poots. I don't know. Imogen's Boots. Anyway, that actress, it was the most affecting dramatic performance I've seen in, like, particularly from a female actor in years. Like, I was so struck by it. There wasn't a moment where I didn't believe her. And there was one particular scene where she's describing sort of like an emotional affair that her father had with someone else by writing letters. And she found these letters after her father passed away. And she's explaining it. And I'm just like, you're a real person right now. And that's so hard to do for me because I'm always keyed into the technical aspects of a film, but particularly performance, because it's like a bad performance sings out a lot louder than a good performance. It's fucking remarkable. Yeah, you must see it. Like, even if you don't have Apple TV Plus, I think it's doing the rounds at some of the cinemas in the UK. So if we're any UK pals, go and check it out. It's really, really excellent. It's currently my film of the year. So good writing, excellent performances, great cinematography, great direction. It's just really intimate, handheld work most of the time. They're the kind of films that really, I love watching big, stupid action movies and all that kind of stuff, and things like Caught Stealing, great sort of crime dramas. You put two really good actors in a room and put amazing words in their mouth, it's always going to get my attention.
That's awesome, man. I'll check it out really soon.
You will fucking love it. Do you know what it reminds me of more than anything? Normal People.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it will wreck you. It will wreck you. Be prepared, all right? Be prepared. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer. And where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. Sorry.
That was so hard, dude. I'm not even fucking lying, dude.
Yep. I am a sexual Tyrannosaurus. Anyway, do you want to chat a little about the news?
Yeah. Fucking hell. Let's do that. That was a very 80-year-old response.
No, I loved it. It was the best affirmative I've ever. Yeah, fucking hell. Why don't we? Excellent. Here we go. It's the nerd news. Well, it's just kind of the news, really. There's not, too much nerd about it.
I have a question.
There's a bit of nerd stuff. Yeah.
Does Knives Out classify as a slasher?
Beg your pardon?
Does Knives Out classify as a slasher film? Or is it just murder mystery?
Nah, it's a murder mystery noir kind of situation. Slasher film would be something where a bunch of teens get fucked up, like, Scream or Friday the 13th, something like that.
Bodies.
It needs to be like a slasher is the person. There's a person doing the slashing. So as long as there's a murderer, usually masked. Look it up. If you look up the definition of these things, it's usually easy to find. All right, here we are with some nerd news. Jeremy Renner says he still wants to do Hawkeye Season 2 after having many discussions about the shape of that season. It's getting my body right, getting everything right for that. The timing of it will come, and if there's still a need, a want, and a desire for it, then yeah. What do you reckon? Well, it's funny.
The timing of it will come.
Grow up. Grow up.
Okay. I won't. I refuse.
42-year-old man I just had a conversation about foreskins with for 3.5 minutes.
I wish him the best of luck, and I hope we get somewhat of a season or a follow-up, because I have really come to enjoy that, like more as the time has gone on.
It's a great show. I've watched it every Christmas since it came out, and I always look forward to it. Yeah, it's got everything you want. You know we love Hawkeye, everybody. Go and check out our reviews of it, in fact. I'm looking forward to that. Gary Oldman has been knighted. He's now Sir Gary Oldman, which is absolutely fantastic. Easily the most talented British actor of his generation. Love him so much. Best known for Dark Knight, Slow Horses, and Harry Potter, apparently. I also really like him in Leon, the Professional. But yeah, he's a knight bachelor. I think he's married, but it's just a title. Oldman receives the oldest form of knighthood in the UK, a subservient title reserved for citizens of the Commonwealth realms that entitles him to use Sir before his name. The recognition highlights his decades-long impact on the stage and screen, marking a career that has defined British acting across film, theatre, and television. Bless you, Gary. Keep doing you, mate. You're an absolute remarkable actor and human being as well.
That's awesome.
Do you like Gary?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, you would not like to mention where I know him from. But other than that, he's an incredible actor.
What do you mean? Where you know him from?
I know him from a franchise I don't want to mention at all.
Batman?
No, it's the other one. It's the most common
Harry
answer.
Potter? Yeah, no, we don't talk about that. Do you know a franchise that we can talk about, though? Is The Mummy, right? Breaking news. Actually, this is a bit fucked up. The original cast of The Mummy is reportedly in Turks. They're in Turks. And they're going to go from there, and then they're going to go to Budapest. And no, they're in talks to return for the franchise's next installment. Brendan Fraser will reprise his iconic role as Rick O'Connell alongside Rachel Weisz's Evie. The new adventure is said to be taking place in Mexico, diving deep into Aztec mythology as the couple hunts for a mysterious artifact. It's set in the 60s, which puts the 20 years after the third film. Cillian Murphy is expected to portray the villain, an Aztec god with the power to resurrect an entire army. I don't know how truthful this is, but sounds pretty fucking dope. The only thing you can't do is bring back Luke Ford, who played the grown-up son of Rick and Evie, because he is, I think, in prison for the R word. Holy
shit, for real?
Yeah, he's Australian too, which is fucked up. I'm not going to go into the details, but he assaulted someone, and fuck that guy and fuck him in his dumb ass. He was a shit actor anyway. So definitely bring back John Hannah, though. And just say the kid died. Do a Mutt Williams and just kill the fucker off screen.
Or like what Indiana Jones did last year.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic. And just finally, I wanted to shout out this. Jane Goodall passed away. Jane Goodall was a legendary primatologist who changed the way that people saw ape and chimpanzee communities. She passed away at 91. The film Gorillas in the Mist was based on her life. She also had a bunch of documentaries come out. 1965, the CBS special Miss Goodall and the Wild Chimpanzees, to the Oscar-nominated short Chimps So Like Us in 1990, her work reached global audiences through the screen. The acclaimed 2017 documentary Jane went on to major film awards, while Jane Goodall, The Hope in 2020 and The Reasons for Hope 2023 kept her mission alive for a new generation. Goodall's discoveries in Tanzania showing chimpanzees using tools, showing emotions, and waging wars like humans redefined the science. But it was her storytelling through documentaries that turned her into a cultural icon, inspiring countless people beyond academia. So, yeah, she was a real powerful person in the fight for animal rights. God bless. I hope she's up there with all her monkey pals in monkey heaven. Apes, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks, Jane. Now, speaking of apes, there's no segue. Oh, did you have a news story?
No,
cool, there might be a better segue then.
I don't have a news story, but there is something like weirdly similar between Hawkeye and Caught Stealing, which is I had a very similar reaction to an actor showing up, which was, is that fucking Kingpin?
That's true. That's very true. Is that fucking Kingpin? It is. And he's going full Jewish, which was amazing.
Yeah, that was, oh man, that's my favorite part of the movie.
Where he goes to their place and has matzo ball soup.
Yeah.
And Liev Schreiber, he's so great. I love Liev. Sorry, I was just having a sip of water. Because, shit, there's no segue there either. We're talking about the fucking Conjuring, because it's in the title. It's not actually. The title of this episode is Witchcraft. Might be my favourite since, what was the one? We did the Logan episode. It was called Logan Berry, like Bury. I love being silly. Anyway, The Conjuring from 2013. We decided in the roundup. Directed by James Wan, written by Chad and Corey Hayes, starring Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren and Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren. You've also got Lily Taylor as Carolyn Perrin and Ron Livingston as Roger Perrin. You've also got a slew of his daughters, who like Joey King was in there, Hayley McFarland as Nancy. Just a bunch of other ones. There's also Mackenzie Foy, who was Renesmee in the fucking Twilight movies. She's in there as well. Just an absolute murderer's row of children in that movie. Where to begin?
Well, you start first because this is your first experience.
Yeah, right. Like, I understand that there's the Warrens were real people and that the case that they're talking about at the beginning, because it starts with them talking about these people who are being haunted by the Annabelle doll. It's a good place to start. In real life, that was like a Raggedy Ann doll that was haunted.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of leads you into the fact that they've got all these haunted artifacts in their house, which is super fucked up, and not a lock on that door so that their child can get in and fuck around with stuff. Like, do you want to unleash a plague of ghosts on the world? Like, come on.
It is implied, but I can't remember if they showed or not. But there's like a series of 6 locks on that door, and the only reason she was able to get in was because the door was open. Right.
Well, then shut it behind you. When I go out to get wood for the fire, I don't leave the door open because the cats get out. You're going to let the cats out, mate.
There's.
Yeah. So no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just have to say this because it's a cool concept, but it's done like relatively cool. The third and final Annabelle film, at least for now, is set inside that room. There's somebody trapped inside that room and they lock it from outside.
Wow, so it's like an escape room situation.
Yeah.
Like literally. Wow. I don't know if I'll go to that. I'm not a dolls. Get fucked. My dad had a Jerry G doll. Jerry G was the puppet of a ventriloquist in Australia in like the 40s and 50s, I guess. And my dad used to watch that show and he had one of them and it was kept in my grandparents' attic and it was 100% haunted. You'd move it, like it would sit somewhere and its head would be facing away, and then you'd look back and its head would be facing you. Like absolutely not. Dad used to laugh at me for that. Dad, if you're listening, by the way, happy birthday for yesterday, mate. Your shits was haunted, mate. I'm surprised that thing didn't give you a ghostly hand job in the nighttime with those two little tiny hands, either side. Talk about my dad getting a hand job from a fucking possessed puppet. I never thought we'd get there. I never thought we'd get there on this podcast where I would talk about that. So if anyone's keeping track, I've now intuited or alluded to the fact that my mum's parents owned that horse from the Man from Snowy River, and in the porno version of it, she would fuck that horse. And that my dad got jerked off by a doll. There should be an interview before you're allowed to buy a podcasting mic. I'm like, are you fucked up? Because if you are, you can't have this and get on the internet. All right. I'm very happy. It's been a very long couple of months, and I handed in my final project last night. Or yesterday morning, rather. I did all of my deliverables and handed it over to the client, and they're super happy. And it releases next week, and that's it. Like I'm just taking the rest of the year off to write, and I'm feeling the weight of all of. Like I'm very grateful to be tired from a profession that I choose and that I once dreamed of working in, but just the weight of that has come off me, and I do feel quite silly. So sorry if I'm particularly annoying this week, everybody.
You're never annoying, man.
No, I don't know. Lorraine and Ed Warren were legitimate, like, I don't know what you call them, paranormal investigators or?
Yeah, like the character was paranormal investigators, although in the films always refer to themselves as demonologists, but I don't know the credibility of that term.
Yeah, well, I mean, they also... That's what I wasn't expecting, actually, is that they're in the hall and they're giving the lecture to the university, and they did do it like as tours or whatever. And they're talking about and showing footage of someone who's possessed. I didn't realize that that's where it was going. I thought it was just a ghost story. I didn't realize it was an actual possession story. My understanding is that they also had a lot to do with the Amityville haunted house.
Yeah.
They made a movie about that. They've made a bunch of movies about it, actually. And also is my understanding that they got proved to be kooks, like that they were faking it all.
Yeah. So they're both like passed away now. I don't want to speak.
No shit.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but like there were con men because they did prey on grieving families and. That and all of the positive stuff has come out from this franchise, portraying them in this light, and I feel like I can kind of disassociate and believe this version more.
And I don't want to steal a joke from We Hate Movies, but they did an episode on this, and I was listening to it, and they were talking about how the real Ed Warren was like massively overweight and super unhealthy, and he died of a heart attack. Patrick Wilson looks like he's a fucking Greek god. Like, what are you talking about?
Especially
they should
here,
have cast
man.
The Kingpin. What, sorry?
Especially like here in the first one, he looks incredible.
He's yoked. And apparently there's a sequel later on where they're like, oh, you need to cut down all them steaks or whatever it is. Like, oh, I don't know how to do that.
That's the recent one.
Bullshit. That guy's never even seen a carb. Anyway, yeah, so they were real people and whatever. I love the idea. Paranormal investigators are like the coolest subgenre to me, like Constantine and all that shit. I just dig it. So I was kind of in the bag immediately. I had a vague understanding that that's what it was about, that it was about these two people, but I didn't really. They get the whole thing going. They get cameras in there and all that stuff. And is the reason they have that police officer guy, is it just so that there's a neutral party there? Is that the situation?
I'm not 100% sure because it definitely could be that. But I also think it has to do something with like, strangers living in other people's house for like actual purpose. So he's just there to like look over that. Plus it's the fucking 70s, man. Who the fuck knows what was going on?
Well, you know what was going on? People were getting busy because the two Ron Livingston and Lily Taylor have 5 daughters of varying degrees, and then they move into the new house, and they're really tired from all the moving in, and she's like, "Are you too tired to christen this house?" And Ron Livingston gets immediately wrecked, like you're turning on a light switch, and they fuck again. So they're working on number 6. Good gravy. So they move into this house, and it's haunted as fuck. And it turns out that it's haunted by a bunch of different ghosts that have all been affected by the curse that was put on this land by a witch. Who reportedly not only sacrificed her own child to the devil, but then went and hung herself. Like out in the yard, and cursed the land, and then the you've got the maid and the little boy, and it's a fucking ghost gangbang. They're all there, all ready to go.
Yeah. The name of the witch was Bathsheba, which is the reference from the intro.
Right. I didn't catch that. Again, I've only watched it that one time. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you had any experiences?
Sort of.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
I don't think this is the right time.
No? Why? Because it's dark still? Where you are?
Yeah, sort of. Also, I don't want to come off as somebody who has proof of ghosts.
The theatre that I work at, the Lilydale Athenaeum Theatre, is haunted as fuck. Not only is the building over 100 years old, the 2 people who ran that theatre company from the beginning were a couple, 2 men, and beautiful souls by all reports, but they're in the building. There's things go missing, particularly if the play is of a certain type, like if there's, if it's overly sexualized, or if there's, stuff there in the play that's about sort of sexual identity and all that stuff, like things will go missing from props tables, and you'll hear sounds, or people will see things in their periphery and turn around and it's not there. And it's just, there's a very, and so much so that the board members, I don't give a shit if you don't believe any of this stuff. It's totally fine. They might be apocryphal tales. I've never experienced anything there, but I'm not exactly the most spiritually attuned dude when it comes to that stuff. But these people are feeling something, and that's the point. There's like all of the people who work there, the board members and stuff, know that when you go in, you've got to say hello to the brothers, to the 2 men. They weren't brothers, just to be clear. Yeah. They were lovers. There's like, we did a show earlier this year called Haunted, which was a story about a writer who gets haunted by the ghost of Edgar Allan Poe, I think, or something. And they did like interviews with cast and crew members about their ghost stories. And 9 times out of 10, they told a story about the actual theatre itself. So I believe there's something going on. I don't know what it is. It's the same way I feel about God. Like, I'm not an atheist. I'm, in some ways, I'm an anti-theist, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like religion can kind of populate too much in people's heads and define their decision making too much, but it's also not a judgment. People, it can also inspire people to do beautiful things. It's the same with this. Like, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get to the end, but in the meantime, I can only go off what I hear and what I experience. So yeah, I guess there's something there. There's a lot that we don't understand, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was beautiful, man. Also, fuck it, I'll say it. The school that I went to is built on like not an ancient, but really old.
Ancient Indian burial ground. Fuck, better move.
It's not ancient Indian burial ground, but it was like built on a graveyard. Mm. So there is that. However, my house is always haunted, not always, but it is haunted every time I'm the only one in it.
Yeah, that tracks.
Like, also, man, this is weird because the one day I was on my bed, which is behind me, but you can't see it. And I heard like a loud thump in the other room, and I was the only one here. So I like got up, went there, and the AC was on. But there's no remote to that AC. Like you have to physically turn it on.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so I turned it off. I came to my room, and there's a window here, and then there are like sheds outside and trees. And at night, like 80% of the time, there are cats who cry outside. So yeah, pretty haunted.
I like the fact that it's so hot in the country that you live, even the ghosts have to turn the air conditioning on. So fuck, it's hot up in here as ghosts. Let's turn on the ghost air conditioner. Aren't we all like room temperature because we're ghosts? No, I'm fucking hot as shit. I'm a sweaty ghost. All right, turn it on. We'll freak him out. Why do we talk like this? This wouldn't be our accent if this was the country where we died. I know, maybe we were tourists and we fucked around and found out.
There's a lot of that as well. I'm not kidding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't even worry about it. We are a plague or a pestilence. Did I tell you what happened when I was in Canada?
No.
Oh, I must tell you. Sorry, guys. This is completely off the track. Can I turn this into a ghost story somehow? No, probably not. But anyway, when I was in Canada, I was traveling alone. And I was going to pretty remote places at first, but I was in Vancouver for a good long chunk. And I noticed that people were kind of, if not rude, at least indifferent to me. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. Like I was there to have a solo journey. I would go days without speaking. It was fucking lush, beautiful, and very out of character for me. But I was going around and people were kind of short with me or curt with me or just kind of, whatever. And I wasn't expecting a parade or anything, but clearly you can tell where I'm from. And I was in a place called Golden, which I loved. It was the only place within hundreds of thousands of miles, not 100,000, but a long, long way, where they had a comic book shop. Would you believe it? So I was in there and having a look around and stuff. And I got to chatting with the dude who ran the place, who was a Canadian, obviously, but he'd been to Australia and he'd backpacked and all that stuff. And as I was leaving after, talking to this guy for an hour or something, I said, "Hey man, thanks for the chat. You're like the nicest Canadian I've met since I've been here. Everybody's been kind of short with me or dismissive." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you're Australian and you're a dude and you're traveling alone." I was like, why does that make a difference? And apparently there's a prejudice towards like young. I mean, I'm not young, but I kind of present young. Like I don't look my age, so I could be easily 30 or something at a distance. So these young guys, young Australian guys, go over there to work the ski seasons. So they go over there to work, during peak periods at these resorts, and they take all the jobs of the local people because they're cheaper and they're transient. So it's like they don't have to be paid, any benefits or sick leave or any of that stuff. They just come in, work the season and fuck off and spend most of the time snowboarding, I guess. But the other thing that they do is fuck the women and leave babies behind. They just so here's my countrymen, my kinsmen, coming to this beautiful, serene country and filling it with bastards. Like it's fucked up. And then after that, it made perfect sense. And then when I flew back from Canmore or Calgary to Vancouver and met Em, because she'd flown over to meet me like about a month after I'd been there, nothing but lovely. Everybody was absolutely, positively Edwardian in their behaviour towards me after that because I was with a woman. So I clearly wasn't out there dipping the willy and, advancing Canada's population with all these surprised Australians like popping up in their country. Amazing.
That's a weird story, man.
It is a weird story, but it's very true. It has nothing to do with The Conjuring either. Getting back to the film, James Wan, I was reading in the trivia, he wanted it to feel like a 70s movie, and it really did. It's the lens choice. It's definitely the lighting, but it's also the zooms. He's using zoom lenses as opposed to sort of traditional kind of prime lenses that you would use. There's that great sequence where, if you're listening to this episode, you've seen the film. We don't typically go through the film beat by beat, but they, after the haunting kind of becomes a really big problem and you've got, Joey King getting pulled around the room by her leg, which is absolutely fucked up, and everybody's farting, but it's just the ghost smell. And the little kids, banging her head on the cupboard, and then there's the hands in the cupboard, the clapping, which is fantastically
that is the worst
creepy.
part for me, because everything else, except for like when Bathsheba fucking jumps, that and their fucking hands is then like the clapping is the fucking word, because that's what it was in the trailer. Like the first trailer is like that scene in the fucking cellar when she's locked in and she like burns the match. And then you just see a pair of hands just like clap beside her, and you're like, "Oh fuck off! No, thank you."
Yep. That's it. Yeah, that's the way. I think I told this story when we were on. It might have been last year, or maybe a year before that. I don't know. We were on the Till the End of the Line podcast with the guys, and they were doing a Halloween episode, and we were talking about Halloween movies and experiences. And I remember seeing the Amityville Horror for the first time. And I couldn't have been older than 5 or 6, because that's just the time period that would have been, which would have made my sister 8 or 9. And she and my cousin were watching. My mum was a single parent, worked a lot, so she didn't have a lot of oversight into what we were doing. Like, I was watching shit I probably should, like watching Predator at 7 years old or whatever. But my sister and my cousin loved horror movies, and they were watching Amityville Horror, the original one. And there's a scene where a priest goes into a bathroom and he gets covered in flies, and because he's trying to get the demon out or whatever. Fantastically parodied in Scary Movie 2 with James Woods. And there's this whole, and it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then the ghost goes, "Get out." And I was like, I'm going to bed. This tiny little Reegs just fucking going to bed and staring at the ceiling for the entire night and not get like an insane person. It was kind of that feeling. And that clapping is has the same feeling as that. It's like really, really shakes you. It's an absolutely not is what I call that. Yeah.
Also,
so they've had all this. Sorry, go ahead.
Just like, I have to point out 2 really cool things. One, if you ever go back and watch it, you'll notice when the clapping happens, it's never a child's hand. It's always an adult's hand, and it's always towards the mother.
Yeah. Well, she ends up being the one, because you think it's going to possess the little girl, but they kind of find out through their investigation that it's Carolyn who gets. Sorry, I was just looking because I've got the cast up here. It's Carolyn that gets possessed by the demon to then kill her daughter, her youngest daughter, which is kind of like the arc for that ghost. So ghosts typically stick around theoretically because they have unfinished business and they're caught in a loop, and they can't break that loop. And that's what purgatory is, from my understanding anyway. When they do, they're doing a lecture or whatever, the Warrens, and Carolyn goes to them and says, my daughters are scared, please come. And they come to the house, and there's this great scene where they walk in and they're like, oh, hello, and meet the daughters and all that kind of stuff. And then they're going through all the house and what happened. And, they found that basement or whatever it is that they get to, and they go in there. And then Ed and Lorraine sit these people down, and they're like, you guys are haunted as fuck. And it cuts back to that scene again. And because Lorraine's a medium, oh no, maybe she's a large, whatever, you get fries with her.
Oh my God.
That's great. We may need to go to the counter. Yeah, can I get a medium meal with a Coke? And they just bring out Patricia Arquette. And you're like, oh, thanks. I wanted a burger, but she's great. She was really. I love True Romance. That was a joke for anybody who was a big fan of the TV show Medium with Patricia. Someone is laughing hysterically at that in their car, and God bless you, because it's. I really appreciate your support, because that was a really niche joke. What are we fucking talking about? Oh yeah, and she says you are. Like, they're a shadow, and it cuts to that scene again, but it's you're now seeing it specifically from Lorraine's perspective, and you see the apparitions, the ghostly like figures behind most of the kids, and she's like, this malevolence is particularly hateful, towards you and your children. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you go now, you're haunted, not the place. That is stirring to realize that these entities and these demonic beings can attach themselves to a person.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And it's that, like, going back to that conversation and seeing, like, Lauren's perspective, but also, like, during the actual scene, they talk about the knocks, and Ed is immediately, he catches on, he's like, catches on. He's like, do they always come in threes? And he's like, yeah. Do they stop around dawn? He's like, yeah. And then they make the connection that it's mocking the Trinity. That's something that really fucking horrified me. Because, like, where I watched it, it wasn't like a particularly popular area. And, like, where I watched it was like a friend's house. But I would, like, regularly go there for, like, sleepovers because he was my best friend at the time. And yeah, we used to be obsessed with this movie, and it's a really well done horror film. Like, there are gimmicks, but they're done so well that they genuinely come off as, like, scary situations and moments, like the mother getting locked up in the basement. Like, this movie is the reason why I have fears. I have a fear of basements. I will never, like, go or own a house if I'm, like, fucking able to, and if the world's still around in, like, fucking 10 years, I will never own a house with a basement, because nothing good ever comes out of that. There's always bad stuff with basements, and every Conjuring film has a basement. So there you go. And the fucking final one, there's a basement in the attic. No, the attic is the fucking... Just take over, please. That
can't be... There's an attic or there's a basement. You can't have an attic in the basement. That doesn't make any sense.
The actress who plays Cindy or Nancy?
Yeah, Mackenzie Foy.
Yep, she's Murph.
Oh. She is Murph.
Yep.
From Interstellar. Oh, she's also the one who plays Renesmee.
Oh, from
in the
Twilight.
Fucking Twilight pictures, yeah.
Damn.
I wonder if she's related to Claire Foy.
I wonder that too, but it doesn't show up anywhere.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's right. It's a good little cast. They're all very grown up now, because it was, you know, fucking 13 years ago or some shit. Yeah, so I think that the last act is interesting in the sense that I kind of feel, as soon as you see, what's the ghost name? The witch?
Bathsheba.
Like, there's the great scenes where they kind of record, and the mum's voice doesn't record, and they kind of figure it out that it's, okay, this witch, and she sacrificed her child and was into the devil and cursed the land, and that's where all these different ghosts are coming from. And they crack that code and they go into the basement, and it's handheld camera with a single light, and the audio is coming just out of the microphone that Ed Warren is holding. And it's, I don't know why that's so creepy, but just the directionality of that microphone, like it's an omnidirectional microphone. So wherever it's pointed is where it picks up the loudest, and just like hearing his voice kind of at a distance from it is really off-putting. But once you get to that final act and you see Bathsheba, what is it?
Bathsheba
jump off of the chest of drawers, I'm like, damn it, I've seen too much. You know what I mean? It would be like as if at the, you know, beginning of the second act you saw all of the shark in Jaws. I didn't want to know that part of it. It was scarier when it was just people getting pulled out of bed and shit. But I still love the practical nature of it. You know, there's not a lot of CG going on. It's you know, there might be some fixes here and there, but it's you know, and they seem to be shooting night instead of day for night, which is interesting too. And then the scene where the one of the daughters, I think it's Nancy's, getting pulled around the room so much so that they have to cut her hair. That's fucked up. Like when they're pulling around, like that's you know, stunt guys pulling on a rope, like old fashioned style, and it's yeah, I just like the practicality and the craft of what's going on here, definitely.
Yeah, no, this is like genuinely one of like it's such a well shot film as well. Like
Yeah, it's beautiful looking. Yeah.
like James Wan really fucking did it, man. Like it wasn't just a set, like they fucking built the house and everything. And like I think this is the first and the only Conjuring film that actually does practical effects like that. Because of the success and like because of, you know, like the advancement in CGI and everything. Like it's just you don't get that in the second film, and you definitely don't get that moving forward. There's interesting stuff with Annabelle, but it's only like the head movement and all that. But the core of this film is the family, but it, like you feel for like the actual family who's being haunted, but then there's also the crossover between that and like the Warrens and their daughter, and you cut back to her getting haunted by Annabelle as well, and like that's like that now is a setup, but it was just there because they didn't know if they were going to make a second one or if they were going to make an Annabelle film. But it's so fucking cool to, you know, go, because like the later films forget that aspect of those characters, and then suddenly in the last one, like that's the major characteristic of those people, that they're parents now of this like grown up person. But I love that aspect because you see, like Patrick Wilson is an amazing actor, but when his like parental you know, ghost kicks in, I don't know what the fuck to call it, instincts.
His parental spirit.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're fucking hot. What are we doing?
I'll take it.
Yeah, like he barges in seconds before the chair hits their daughter, and it's just it's like it genuinely makes you care about these characters, you know?
Yeah. It's they do a good job of building it up and giving them a you know, a lived in life. Like he's a fucking truck driver and he can't get work, and when he does get it, it's at a fraction of the cost that he normally gets paid, and she's like, we're going to figure it out. And the best way to do that is stop having fucking kids. If you've got 5 kids. He was happy the dog got killed because he's like, thank Christ, not another mouth to feed. Also, that's a lot of children. Anyway,
the dog gets killed like fucking immediately as well.
I know. I was like, I don't know if I can come back from that. I'm too much of a softie for those kind of things. If they'd have killed a cat, I've been like, nah, I'm checking out. I was so frightened that the cat in Caught Stealing would either get killed or left behind somewhere. Yeah. And then, you know, not to, this isn't really spoiling anything anybody, but you know, the cat's all right in the end. It actually has a lovely old time. Felt much better. Just thinking about, you know, these kind of films in general before we wrap up. There's something primal about scary movies, you know? And there's a reason they work. And there's trash. I know there's trash ones. This is a particularly good one. This is a high-end proper production with a prestige director and a great premise and some good actors and all that stuff. And then there's fucking garbage as well. But whatever you're into, wherever it is, as long as it's not like, you know, intentionally cruel, like Rob Zombie made a couple of Halloween movies. He made Halloween and Halloween 2, and they were like almost prequels in a way to, they gave you the backstory of Mike Myers when he was a kid and all that stuff. But those movies are so unnecessarily cruel, particularly towards women. And like, I know they're horror movies and I know you got to see blood and guts and all this kind of stuff, but they are like, it's about watching suffering and that's it. Like if you watch Halloween, the original one, it's really nuanced, you know, it's about, you know, a woman growing up into her own power, and it's about, you know, this Leviathan, which is actually, you know, for me, it's you know, the masculine of the world that she's going to then face as a young, you know, attractive woman, Jamie Lee Curtis in the 1970s and all that stuff. Like there's some real interesting shit going on. It's not super gory. It's more about atmosphere and vibe, or the vibes rather, of that time, the 1970s. Like Rob Zombie's Halloween movies are just horrible and about suffering and about torture. Fuck that shit. I mean, if you're into it, whatever, but mindset wise, I don't know about his filmmaking. But whatever it is, wherever you get your jollies from scary movies, it's a great time to do it, because everybody else is doing it. It's like Christmas. You watch Christmas movies. Halloween, you got to watch horror movies, because it gets into that primal thing, and it's a release. Like, we're so stressed in our regular lives most of the time. Like, just think to yourself, how often do you have to say to yourself, fucking let my shoulders go a little bit and relax? You got to do it all the time, because life will just tense you up. There's so much that needs to happen, and there's only so much time. These movies do that, and they provide the release with either, some sort of jump scare, and then the moment after the jump scare where you feel that, or the resolution of the film, if it's a good resolution or if it's a bad resolution, but it's the end, and you feel that. It's good for your serotonin, your endorphin levels. So yeah, I would suggest whatever it is that you like horror movies, whether it's zombie shit, or you like ghosts, or you love slashers, or you like old stuff, or you like new stuff, whatever it is, feel no shame. Just get the fuck into it,
I remember, like, before watching this, I used to not gel with horror movies because I used to be scared. But then, like, over the years, and like going back to this, like, almost every year, I realized how fun it is to be scared. Like, when it's in your control, it's one of the best feelings ever, because you're like, I'm here to have some fucked up fun, man. Like, give it to me.
Exactly. And it can be in different ways. Like, I asked my sister if she'd seen The Conjuring, and she fucking doesn't jive on ghosts. She was like, absolutely not. My niece, however, fucking loves them. Her favorite movie is The Lost Boys. And then you've got movies like that as well that are like cool and sexy, but like, silly. And then you got things like Sinners, which isn't very scary, but it's all about like the dread, and the feeling for these characters that they build up so well. And yeah, it's a beautiful genre of film. And I didn't like it much either for years. It gets really maligned because they don't make prestige stuff anymore. No one's out there making The Exorcist, like it turned, like the 80s turned around and it became a slasher genre, and now just people make them on the cheap because they've got there's a reason that horror movies and thriller movies and things like that do so well at the box office, because they're really, really cheap to make and people love them. So yeah, there shouldn't be any shame in making them. A lot of first-time filmmakers get their start making these movies because it's how you can do something fast, or you need very little light and very little story, and you can kind of bash out one of the first short films I ever made was a haunted house movie called the Clover Hill Haunting, and yeah, it was easy and it was fun, and people dig it. So yeah, don't have any shame about it. I want to hear from you, my good people. Message us or put a comment in the post about this episode and let us know what your favorites are. I need some for my list. I need some for my Halloween list. And I'll absolutely post the sequels suck 31 in 31 rules if anybody else wants to play along. Addie, before we finish up, normally we would do favorite parts or whatever. But I think what we should do is recommendations. What other films in the Conjuring vibe would you recommend to the people? Give me 3.
That's cool. Before that, though, do you wanna do like your top 3 scary moments from the film? Like those moments that got you like, no, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Number 1, the dead dog. Fuck you.
Well, me personally, or the fucking house?
The fucking movie.
Okay. What else?
The hands out of the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. And the feet. She looks behind. Lorraine looks behind Ed, and the witch is hanging there. Hanging stuff. It's like in that movie, The Happening. the M. Night Shyamalan film. This is not a great movie, but there's an amazing shot that's inside of a car, and it's just about this thing that like the plants start fighting back and everybody commits suicide, and it pans across and you just see all these people hanging from trees and hanging stuff. Nope. Poos. Do poos on that.
Yeah, that's...
Everybody just hear my tummy? It's like, Regan, it's time for fucking breakfast. Why does my stomach sound like that? It's a yobbo. My tummy's a yobbo. You give me beer and fucking dim sims.
That sounded like fucking Tony from The Shining, man.
It does. Yeah, they were mine. What about you?
All right. So mine is definitely the dog. The clapping, but like in the basement, because it's so much more tense because she's already been knocked down, and like she falls on the fucking piano as well.
Yeah. And that whole sort of possession scene with Carolyn is fucking, well, it's haunting. Yeah, it's very haunting.
I love the setup, like the setup for like the cameras and everything, like that sequence. I think it was really well done. It's also like that's kind of the point. Like if you can't get the fucking proof, you can't get the priest to authorize the exorcism.
Yeah, they're real fucking particular about who they exercise and who they don't exercise. You know what I mean? They need some fucking exercise. I tell you that much. Fucking fat priests. I don't know.
Oh, Father Gordon wasn't fat, man. That actor's only consistent role is Father Gordon in all of these fucking movies.
Whatever, man. He's making bank, and then he takes the rest of the year off to work on his boat. I don't know.
I think my most scariest is like the entire exorcism sequence at the end. We didn't touch on that much, but because it's the fucking final act and you don't want to spoil it for you. But
yeah,
I remember watching that the first time. I was like, oh, this is bad. And then there's that excellent scene where like there are two excellent scenes that like precede each other, because there's one where like the church starts to float and then it comes down, and then like the mother coughs of blood, and then like there's a strike. But like the face that you see is the possessed Bathsheba face. It's just that's the only part of the face you see from the under the covers. That is insane, dude. And then there's a very subtle shot, like right before she floats up and the chair goes upside down. Like that whole floating scene is insane. But when it starts to float and you just see the shadow just kind of move further and further away, you're like, oh no. Like that's
shitting. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's when you realize, they're not in control. They're just fucking toys. She's gonna kill all of them.
Yeah, it's a really affecting scene, and because it's localized as well, you know, they just have it in that one room that you feel the threat of it more. So yeah, it's well worth your time, everybody. I haven't seen any of their other ones, so I can't vouch for them. But the Conjuring one is, you know, it's a good old time in this scary season. So what would you recommend for someone who, it doesn't have to be just about ghosts, but something that's got the kind of feel of this? You know, it can be old, new, whatever.
If you like The Conjuring, you will definitely enjoy watching the Conjuring 2. I think it's a solid sequel. They go overseas. They're in the United Kingdom. They're like the family stuff is really great. For that case as well, there's actual footage of like that haunting, and like there's an interview sequence that happens, and there's a real life like interview like that they recreated for that. It's a really well paced. I think it's better paced than this, and that's insane to say because this movie is go 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 and you don't stop. Right, I feel like there's a lot more breathing room in the second one. In the second one, like sets up the nun and everything, but there isn't like blatant like, oh, come back and see the sequels. Like there's none of that here, and then there's none of that in the second one. Like going forward, they do that definitely because it's like it's the writers who then get to direct, but they haven't written like a good script, and then it all gets convoluted, and they want to connect each dot with everything else.
Yep.
But definitely check out The Conjuring 2. I think it's really, really great, and it's the best of the Conjuring films by far.
Awesome. I'm gonna put it on the list then. Definitely.
So if you're like an outdoorsy person, like somebody who likes to hike a lot, I would recommend, and somebody who likes horror movies, of course, I would recommend The Ritual. That's going to be my pick for like the 4 that we're doing for October.
Yeah, that episode coming soon. Absolutely. That and Sinners were your picks, wasn't it?
Yeah, that and Sinners were my pick because we already did Weapons. Because Weapons would have been my pick, but we already did that.
Yeah. Mine will be it was this, and my other one is my one I'm going to recommend. So we'll keep going.
Awesome. Yeah, The Ritual is incredible, and I cannot wait to talk about that. So maybe watch that so you can come back and listen to our episode on it. It's going to be insane. I promise you, it is nothing like you've ever seen before, and everything you think is going to happen is just, it's going to shock you in like the most incredible of ways, and you will come out of it appreciating so much more. You'll come out of it appreciating the horror genre so much more for what it can be an analogy for. It'll be great. Go watch that.
You'll also be covered in your own shit and piss.
Yes. That's insane that you guessed that, actually.
And Rafe Spall's in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cum too then.
Good God, he's on, yeah.
Total babe. What's your last pick?
My last pick is old classic, the only actually good found footage film, which is Paranormal Activity, the first one from 2009. Everything else out of that franchise goes shit to the head into the fucking frozen toilet. Just watch the first one.
Cool. All right. Shit to the head in the frozen toilet. I want to get that on a t-shirt. Hashtag Filmatics Podcast. Great. Mine, real quick. People Under the Stairs by Wes Craven. I can't rewatch it. It haunted my childhood. Absolutely insane movie. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Just watch it. It's incredibly disturbing. I have the Blu-ray and I bought it. I might have said this on mic before, and I bought it to rewatch with my sister. And I sent her a picture. I'm like, look what I found on Blu-ray for like $6. Want to come around and watch it? And she just wrote back, no. Not like, hey, buddy, or whatever, like, chat. No, the answer is unequivocally not going to happen. Really, really great. The original Amityville Horror that I was talking about before is excellent. It's a really good haunted house movie. Yeah, absolutely chilling. And Peter Jackson's The Frighteners, which we will do an episode on this month with Michael J. Fox. I fucking love that movie so much. I watch it every Halloween. It's fucking fantastic picture.
That and like the first one that he did is probably the only Peter Jackson movies I haven't watched.
Bad Taste.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Bad Taste. I don't like gross stuff. You know what I mean? Like I like my action. Sorry, my horror movies or my Halloween movies to be more mood than gore. But yeah, Frighteners is, and you haven't seen Frighteners?
Nope.
Oh, I'm not jealous because I don't get jealous. I'm so happy for you that you get to watch that for the first time. It's amazing. I love it so much.
I'll probably love it because it's fucking Peter Jackson, man.
And it's Michael J. Fox, and it's so well made, and I love it. It's got a real Beetlejuicy kind of vibe, but it's also really serious in parts, and the creepy investigator. Yeah, you will love it. So yeah, do come back. We're going to be doing The Ritual. We're going to be doing Sinners. We're going to be doing The Frighteners. We'll probably go a little bit into November if we're going to do all of those. But we will be back next week talking about The Rituals next week.
Sure. Why the fuck not?
Excellent. Next week, we'll talk about The Ritual. In the meantime, do we have any questions? We'll get through them quickly.
We do not, because I forgot to post it.
No questions. That's totally fine because we're running a little bit long anyway, and I have to get to the cinema to see The Smashing Machine, so which I'm checking out today. And then tonight, I'm going to the Astor to see One Battle After Another. It's going to be a really great cinema day for Reegs. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, everyone. do check out The Conjuring if you haven't already, and check out those other films that we'll be covering later on in the month. Happy spooky season. Look after each other out there and look after yourself as well. Addie, I want you to haunt me every day.
I love that so much. I don't know what to say.
That's okay. I love you, buddy.
I love you too much. I love you so much, man.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. And remember, fuck hate.
Love wins. And watch The Witch as well. I forgot to say that.
The Wish.
The Witch.
The Witch.
Yep.
Just the one W? The Witch.
No, it's supposed to be the double U, but it's the double V. So the Witch.
Oh, yes. Is Edgar... No.
No. Oh my God. Robert
The
Eggers.
guy who directed...
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers. Yeah, the guy who directed Nosferatu. There you go. Check out The Witch. See you, everybody.